As a breast cancer advocate, there's many things that I do. I do work, as I said, with the research advocacy program at Bay Area Cancer Connections, where we work directly with researchers on their grants and helping them get funded. I also work with the Breast Science Advocacy Corps through the University of San Francisco. And as advocate for UCSF, I also work with those researchers on their projects. I am also the community member that sits on the Stanford Scientific Review Committee. So we meet twice a month and we review all the clinical trials for Stanford and Lucille Packard hospitals. And then another activity I do is through the National Patient Advocate Foundation. I'm a President's Council member where I work on regulatory and law and getting bills passed that would benefit cancer, well, not just cancer patients, but any patients in the United States. So I work both at my state level and at the federal level. And one example of that would be I've worked very hard the last 5 years to get oral IV chemoparity passed in the state of California, and we did it this past year. And it's taking effect this January of 2015. So I'm very proud of that. So I know that's a lot, especially for someone who's just thinking about getting into advocacy. But the way I started was by advocating for myself as a patient. I learned that I really needed to understand what the doctors were telling me about my own diagnosis and to make the best decision about that information for myself. So I started with myself, and then after I got through my treatment, I realized that I wanted to be involved in helping other people and being part of the solution to breast cancer. So then I moved on to getting scientific training through the National Breast Cancer Coalition's Project Lead. And after that, I started doing grant reviewing for the Department of Defense. And it just sort of snowballed from there. So I learned that even though my background is not science, that I was very interested in it, and I found it all very exciting. And having a collaboration with scientists and researchers was also incredibly satisfying.
Did you know that not every breast cancer patient needs chemotherapy? In fact, today, there's a way to identify whether or not you'd benefit from that chemotherapy based on the biology of your tumor. To learn more about the Oncotype DX assay and how to discuss the results with your physician, just press this button.